Dr. Kennedy, Catholicism believes that evangelical Protestants do not emphasize or put enough significance on the changed life. Okay, they hear us talk about justification by faith alone, and they think that nothing has to happen in terms of the life. But they get mixed up, justification with sanctification. Would you define those and talk about the relationship?
They state very clearly that justification encompasses sanctification, so they confound the two. Justification and sanctification must always be distinguished, but they can never be separated. Justification is an act, once and forever, instantaneous, whereby God declares a sinner, an ungodly, unrighteous, sinful man, declares him righteous for the sake of Christ, having imputed to him the righteousness or the perfect obedience of Jesus Christ. And that is once and for all done. No Christian is more or less justified than another. We are all justified instantaneously, all justified totally and completely. Sanctification is a process which begins at that moment of regeneration, the moment of salvation, and grows all through our lives. It is different in every believer. Sometimes you hear people say they don't like people that are holier than thou, holier than me. But the fact of the matter is, there are Christians that are holier than I am, and holier than you are, and holier than everyone here is. And everyone sitting in this room is at some different degree of cleansing and growth in the Christian faith. That is completed by glorification, which again is an act which takes place after death, immediately after death, where all of the vestigial remains of sin are removed and we are made absolutely perfect. It is as if the perfect white robe of Christ's righteousness were placed upon us once and for all. Internally, we were gradually being cleansed and purified throughout this life, and at glorification after death, inwardly, we were made as perfect as outwardly we are accounted for Christ's sake right now. But they make sanctification a part of justification, so that the person must work long and labor hard. I was just reading some of the things which they tell a person they must do in order to receive the grace of justification. Consider these things. They must love and worship God, pray, fasting. They must love one's neighbor. They must practice self-renunciation, obey the commandments of God, bear witness to the Catholic faith, follow supernatural inspiration in deeds, confess the major doctrines of the church, and if they do all of these things, they may become worthy of justification. But the Bible says that God justifies the ungodly, and that we are justified apart from works. In the 3rd chapter of Romans, where Paul gives the fullest statement of the gospel, he concludes with this concluding statement: therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. Now that is nothing other than sola fide, is stated in other words, faith alone. A man is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. But they are saying a man is justified by faith based upon his completion of a whole series of years of efforts to keep the law. And finally, he is justified by his own merit, in effect.